Stock up on these 5 things today, because if you think your grocery bill is high right now, you are in for a massive shock. There are dozens of products that will jump in price before you get back from the store this weekend. To figure out exactly where the average American's money is vanishing, I partnered with a typical family of 4 and tracked their grocery spending for 30 straight days. I am talking about every single receipt, every single barcode, and every single penny spent at supermarkets like Walmart, Kroger, and Publix. I thought I knew what to expect. I figured I would see a few extra treats or maybe some expensive cuts of meat. But what I found completely blew my mind. The things draining their bank account weren't luxury items at all. They were everyday staples that have been quietly weaponized against our wallets. If you want to stop bleeding cash at the checkout line, you need to pay very close attention. Because what I learned from this 30-day experiment will change the way you look at the grocery store forever. Here are the biggest surprises from tracking a family's grocery budget and the exact items you need to rethink right now. The first massive surprise was what I call the convenience premium trap, and the biggest offender is sitting right in the produce section. I noticed this family was buying a lot of pre-cut fruit and bagged salads. We are talking about those plastic tubs of cubed watermelon, sliced pineapple, and pre-chopped onions. When I crunched the numbers, the markup was absolutely terrifying. They were paying up to 300% more per pound for pre-cut watermelon compared to buying a whole melon. 300%! But here is the economic reality of why this is happening. You aren't just paying for the fruit anymore. You are paying for the massive increase in labor costs required to chop that fruit in a processing facility. On top of that, you are paying for the plastic container. With petroleum prices fluctuating, the cost to manufacture those thick, clear plastic tubs has skyrocketed. The supermarkets are passing every single cent of that packaging and labor cost directly to you. My advice? Buy the whole watermelon. Buy the whole pineapple. Spend the 5 minutes chopping it yourself. You are literally paying yourself an hourly rate of about $50 just to slice your own fruit. The second surprise hit me right in the middle of the cereal aisle. This family was incredibly brand loyal to General Mills and Kellogg's, constantly buying the family-size boxes of Cheerios and Cinnamon Toast Crunch, thinking they were getting a bulk discount. But here is the dirty little secret of the current supermarket landscape. The family size is an illusion. Over the last 30 days, I noticed that while the physical height and width of the cereal boxes looked exactly the same as they did a while back, the depth of the box had shrunk. They are thinner. The net weight printed on the bottom corner has quietly dropped by a couple of ounces, but the price tag has stayed the exact same, or even gone up. This is classic shrinkflation, but it has reached a critical level. Why are cereal companies doing this? Because the cost of raw commodities like wheat, corn, and especially sugar have faced massive supply chain disruptions and weather-related shortages globally. Instead of raising the price of a box to $8 or $9, which would cause you to leave it on the shelf, they just give you 2 fewer bowls of cereal per box. When we switched this family to the store brand equivalents like Kroger's or Walmart's Great Value, their cereal budget dropped by 40% overnight. The kids literally could not taste the difference, and the savings were immediate. Now, let's talk about the protein pivot, which was the third and arguably most shocking surprise of the entire experiment. When I looked at the family's meat consumption, ground beef was absolutely destroying their budget. They were buying standard 80-20 ground beef for taco nights, spaghetti, and burgers. You might have noticed that ground beef feels like a luxury item lately. There is a very specific economic reason for this. We are currently experiencing the lowest cattle herd numbers in the United States in decades. A few years ago, severe droughts in cattle-producing states caused the price of feed and hay to go through the roof. Ranchers simply couldn't afford to feed their cows, so they had to liquidate their herds. Fast forward to today, and there are significantly fewer cattle available for processing. Supply is incredibly low. But consumer demand for burgers and tacos is as high as ever. That means prices surge. I told the family to stop defaulting to beef. We pivoted their meal plan to pork shoulder and bone-in, skin-on chicken thighs. Pork is currently one of the best values in the meat department because the supply chain is incredibly stable right now. By swapping out ground beef for ground pork in their pasta sauces and using shredded chicken thighs instead of beef for taco night, we shaved nearly $60 off their monthly meat bill without sacrificing a single gram of protein. The fourth surprise is what I call the Lunchbox Black Hole. If you have kids, you know exactly what I am talking about. This family was buying massive amounts of single-serve snacks, Frito-Lay multi-packs, individually wrapped organic fruit leathers, and tiny little protein puffs. When you buy a box of 20 individually wrapped bags of Doritos or Cheetos, you are getting absolutely crushed by the packaging tax. Aluminum and specialized foil prices are incredibly high right now. When you buy single-serve items, the manufacturer has to use 20 times the amount of expensive packaging material compared to putting all those chips in one big bag. And guess who pays for that aluminum foil? You do. Furthermore, the healthy snack category is seeing massive price hikes. Ingredients like cocoa and specialized whey proteins are incredibly expensive to source right now due to global climate impacts on cocoa crops. So those organic chocolate-drizzled granola bars are costing you a fortune. We completely changed the family strategy. We bought the massive, full-sized bags of pretzels, tortilla chips, and bulk dried fruit. Then we bought a set of reusable silicone zip-top bags. Every Sunday, the parents spent 10 minutes portioning out the snacks for the week. That one simple change saved them over $45 in our 30-day window. Finally, the fifth surprise was hiding in their pantry and their fridge, and it comes down to cooking fats. I am talking about olive oil and premium butter. This family loved their Kerrygold butter and their extra virgin olive oil. But if you haven't been paying attention, the prices of these two items have gone absolutely parabolic. Let's start with olive oil. The Mediterranean region, specifically Spain, which produces a massive portion of the world's olive oil, has been hit with devastating multi-season droughts. The olive harvest has been decimated. Because there is a massive global shortage of real olive oil, the price per bottle has skyrocketed. And because olive oil is so expensive, consumers have started buying more butter as a replacement for cooking, which drives up the demand and price for premium butters. This family was pouring expensive extra virgin olive oil into a hot frying pan just to sauté onions. I had to stop them immediately. Extra virgin olive oil should only be used as a finishing oil, for salads or drizzling over a finished dish. Heating it up destroys the delicate flavor anyway. We switched them to a neutral, much more affordable oil like canola or avocado oil for their high-heat cooking, and swapped their premium imported butter for a high-quality domestic store brand for baking. They kept one small, high-quality bottle of olive oil purely for flavor. This small adjustment stopped a massive leak in their grocery budget. At the end of the 30 days, the results were staggering. By avoiding the pre-cut produce trap, dodging cereal shrinkflation, pivoting away from ground beef, ditching single-serve snack packaging, and getting smart about cooking oils, this typical family slashed their grocery bill by over $300. That is nearly $4,000 a year, just by understanding the hidden economics of the supermarket. The grocery store is a psychological battlefield, and the pricing strategies are designed to separate you from your money using convenience and habit. But once you understand the why behind the price tags, whether it's cattle shortages, aluminum costs, or packaging markups, you take the power back. So, before you head to the store this week, look in your fridge, look in your pantry. Are you paying a premium for someone else to chop your fruit? Are you buying air in a cereal box? Change your habits today. Stock up on the right bulk items and watch your bank account grow. If you found these tips helpful, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. See you in the next aisle.